Hello, one and all, and welcome, of course, to LCR Season 5. We're here for the second round of action out of 16. We're here for the Chinese Grand Prix, this 3.3 mile long circuit with 16 turns awaiting the drivers, 7 to the left and 9 to the right. Action zones in particular, the entire Snell section is turns 1, 2, 3 and 4, alongside turn 6 as well. Watch out for dive bombs. We saw Daniel Ricciardo do that many a time. And finally, of course, the hairpin section at turn number 14. It's a 16 turn track, and we just had an even more interesting and exciting qualifying session just around about a few minutes ago. But here is your grid rundown ahead of the second round of LCR. So on pole position is Phoenix Legend in the Red Bull. No, you're not dreaming, that's happening. Alongside him, though, is Dralex, the Canadian, done a good job to get P2. Kingley in 25, the reserve, lines up in P3 of LK alongside him in P4. P5 for Clone Troop, not too bad, but still not as good as last time out, but Visualise alongside him as well. Not too bad from the McLaren either. Cheesy Train gets a strong qualifying. He starts from P7 with the reserve of VSR Smithson for Sauber alongside him in P8. Just Revenge, aka Brad, he starts P9 with our two-time championship winner in LCR. LCR Leopard starting from P10. Undef Bro way down in P11. BORRISLETTERBOX is alongside him on row number 6. Row 7, Timo Verstappen, the pole position sitter of last time out, starts from P13 with Jolly alongside him in P14. AR Charlie and LCR Hayden are on the next row, and finally the man on the Lonelyville row who's having a qualifying ban is KRC Janny. But the guys are now on their formation lap. They're making their way around to start the Chinese Grand Prix, and my co-commentator is X-Form HD. And Josh, tell me your thoughts about qualifying. You know, such a surprise to see that Red Bull on pole position.
Yeah, it really is. We've got a Red Bull first and a Red Bull 17th, obviously due to the qualifying ban, but you know, we thought it was going to be a Mercedes lockout to start with, and then Phoenix Legend, the man who in qualifying kept spinning, kept just sort of making mistakes, all of a sudden comes along with an absolute weldy of a lap time. But one thing which is quite interesting to notice, as you said, with Verstappen down in 13th, the man who got pole last time, and then the race leader is in 12th. Like, these guys are going to be next to each other more or less. So it could be a little battle down there if they're going to try and make their way up through the field, as we have just started, well, sector 3 really of this formation lap, and they're all getting ready for what potentially has it has the potential to be an incredible race.
It most certainly does here at Shanghai. It's a brilliant track for racing. You know, one of the longest straights in the Formula 1 calendar is the guys. You can see all 17 of them on the same straight, weaving in and out away as they now come down towards the hairpin section, which is going to be a crucial section for overtaking at turn 14. And of course now, pressure is on the Red Bull. I'm sure he is getting nervous in that cockpit, because I don't think he quite expected to be there, but nevertheless, he is there, and alongside him is the Mercedes, who really impressed in round 1. But Kenyan 25 trying to make a good impression for reserves. Watch out for him on the second row. And the soft combat time on a Clone Troop, watch out for him a few laps in, trying to get the better start. We saw him have a really poor day at Bahrain, and ultimately go bad. But Josh, any final quick words before the guys park up and we get underway?
Let's do this. I think that's the only word I can come up with right now. But let's get this race underway, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know if the Red Bull, who's currently sitting on pole, is going to agree. He's got some quick guys behind him, but as the last car parks up, it's going to be good.
One Red Bull at the front, the other at the back, as we get ready for those 5 red lights ahead of the drivers. Round 2 of LCR Season 5 is off in China. It's a fairly decent start for Phoenix. Draylett's got an equally good start, if not better. Kingley 25 on the defensive against LK, down towards turn 1 for P3, side in the background as well. Meanwhile, Clone Troop having to defend against Visualise. They go rounding outside through turn 4. Liam is on the defensive, loses the position now to OK, but he's not going to hold any time back. Goes straight back down the inside as well. Bit of a scrapping in the background as well. Looking at 2 off Verstappen, losing position for LCR Hayden, but up towards turn 5 they come. And LK is going to try and get back past Kingley 25. Smith's going to be one on the inside on both Visualise, who's just made contact with the back of Clone Troop and has just forced him off to lose a couple of positions. Smithson now on a P5. Fantastic start from the Sauber reserve, as the reserves are currently 3rd and 5th. You wouldn't quite believe, but they're side by side through turn 7 and 8. Comes Smithson and Clone Troop, VSR against VSR, and it's just about work. But meanwhile in the background as well, on Death Bro suffered a spin. Cheesy Train suffered a spin as well. Poor start for him, but Josh, anything from further down?
The main thing I want to point out, Jolly's made 6 positions off the start. He's on a little war march at the minute. That's an incredible start. Literally, the lights went out and he had made 3 positions just like that. It was absolutely incredible. Clone Trooper all over the back of Smithson, further up. LK all over the back of that Toronto, trying to get the slipstream. No DRS at the minute. It does seem that the Ferrari, he's pulled to the inside. Is he going to be able to get the move done? But he's going to have to keep it on visualised behind. Is he going to try and benefit from this as well to try and get past the Sauber of Smithson? He hasn't managed to at the minute, but there's time. It's a long race and there's going to be another opportunity. You must think so. The Ferrari has got back past Smithson. Smithson, he hasn't had the best run. He has made some ground, but not the best. Visualised trying to get the position back off him, but at the minute, Smithson's managed to break away and now going to look on the inside of Ferrari. He's going to grab the position back, but the Ferrari's just parked it in the perfect spot. And from the McLaren's point of view, he could be looking at P5 right now easily. But further up the field, the Mercedes is looking all over the back of the Red Bull of Phoenix Legend, who managed to get away, staying in the lead. But how long can it last?
It's a question of how long it can last. The top 4 all within a second of one another at this moment in time. 2 VSR lads absolutely going manic side-by-side action for P5 as well. Further down as well, we had the 2 championship contenders, first and second go in the championship for P9. Leopard against Boris. But yeah, like you said, brilliant start from Jolly. He's now behind his teammate in a P8. But meanwhile, side-by-side, by the way, it looked to me as if Phoenix lost a little bit of the back end at the corner, which he did in qualifying. So could be a sign of nervy things to come for the Red Bull, but he's now round the long right-hander, now down towards this long straight that is going to leave him vulnerable.
He's off!
Actual fact,
he's off!
The race leader is off and he's just lost the lead just like that. It came with a snap of oversteer, but now down towards the hairpin they come. LK off side by side with King Liam 25 for P3 in the background as well. And it looks to me they were getting a bit of his Clone Troop come out of nowhere, and he made it 3 wide with the 2 of them. And just about it's going to be LK comes down on top. King Liam 25 now on the back of Smithson, a bit of contact as well in the background between them as well. But it looks to me as if King Liam 25 has just lost 3 positions in the space of a corner because Clone Troop absolutely surprised them by going 3 wide. Here's Johnny-esque moment down towards turn 1 on lap number 3. DRS now enabled and visualise on the back of him. And meanwhile, LK now has Phoenix has lost it again. This man's day gets from bad to worse in the space of 2 and 3 laps. And it's gone all wrong, and all of a sudden, it's a Mercedes 1-2 again. King Liam 25 side by side with Visualised and Belgium going side by side with the Brit Reserve as they are almost 3 wide in the background as well between Leopard and Phoenix Legend, but side by side go them. And now Jolly have a look on the inside of it, trying to use his teammate to gain an advantage, but it's gone all wrong for King Liam 25 and Phoenix Legend. As Liam's dropped it. Liam's dropped it. This is going horrible. I can't even get on board with him. He's now dropped it at turn 6. And oh my goodness me, the reserve stage just got even worse. But all of a sudden, Josh, it's a Mercedes 1-2.
Out of all of that, it's come out with a Mercedes 1-2. But is it? Clone Trooper now
it's not
outside. How has he managed to do that? Is he going to be able to make the move stick? LK's trying to hold it. Going to keep an eye on Smithson behind as well. That 2 is side by side. Clone Trooper and LK. Who's got the better speed? It does seem to be LK. Is Clone Trooper going to... Oh, we've got Smithson sector 3 as well.
Smithson and down the inside of Clone Troop before they go for the hairpin. And oh my goodness me, and Clone Troop now forced to sort of lose contact with LK because Smithson is now giving a right good fight on lap number 3, end of start of 4. And it's been an almighty day, but one man who's been absolutely incredible so far, Jolly has just taken advantage of all the cards around him, and somehow he finds himself in P5. What a day he has had so far. Fresh softs, of course, because he's outside the top 10. What about his teammate? I'm sure his teammate's going to have one thing in mind. I want to get past him side by side, going to 2 championship contenders so far. Boris against Leopard for P7 this is for. This is quite incredible, really, to see 2 championship contenders struggle on their day and down towards P7. Meanwhile as well, Smithson trying to have a look on the inside, around the outside, sorry, of Clone Troopers. K continued to hold him on just a little bit. Leopard now trying to get past Boris again. Visualise sort of on the inside as well, so let's watch out for him, but almost they go. And Leopard still not quite able to get them done for now. And Josh, visualise round. Oh no! Oh, what has happened there?
I'm not too sure. I just went to jump on Paul left, and all I saw was this McLaren spinning through corner number 7. That was. But what happened as well? Clone Troopers on a set of soft tyres. He's battling away with these guys and he's on softs. When Smithson and LK are on the ultras.
He's flying away at the front of the time. Smithson runs wide in the background as well. It's going to leave him prone to Jolly as they now come up towards the hairpin. DRS enabled now on this straight as Jolly goes to the outside as well against Smithson. But meanwhile, this battle for second is more important. Ferrari against Mercedes. It's Clone Trooper against LK, and he squeezed him out by Smithson. Has absolutely squeezed out Jolly there, and I think just about Jolly will have the move done. And incredibly, Jolly is into 4th place. LK pits early on for the Ultrasofts. That's to be expected though. Boris all of a sudden finds himself in a P4 because everyone in the Ultrasofts is coming in. LK and Smithson in. What about behind them? Drizzle's Adventure also in. But Dralex, who's the leader of the Grand Prix, is still out on them set of Ultrasofts. In actual fact, he had the first call, so would you have felt that maybe they made the call to come in early, but a bit of teamwork from Mercedes perhaps. But now it's interesting to see when are the soft compound tyre runners going to come in. Expendence coming around about lap 6. Of course, we're still waiting for Dralex. Yep, race leader Dralex does now take the opportunity to pit. The question is, how good of an outlap does his teammate have? Because his teammate, by the way, is on the soft compound tyres. The yellow flag waving in sector 3, Josh.
Smithson's in the wall.
Oh, he is. That's at the long right-hander. How on earth is he?
It is. Yeah. But this battle for provisional P2 is starting to liven up with Leopard, who seems to just have the better pace so far. He's all over the back of this Renault, coming through sector 1. But the Renault's just getting even closer to the McLaren of Jolly. You've got to wonder who's going to come out on top here.
Bit of Mercedes gamemanship about to come under play. If you were Dralex, what would you do in this situation? Because of course, you don't want to create a bad relationship with your teammate early on, but at the same time, I would let him through. Plain and simple. I would let him through for the reason because Dralex will then pretty much have 3F. And he'll be able to use LK as a bit of a tow for a bit. Once LK's gone off, obviously you have to stop again, but from his point of view, Dralex can probably know that LK's not going to be able to get like 25 seconds in front of him. So I think it's going to be a safer bet just to let his teammate go. I'm on board with LK. Coming up to turn 14. Is he going to... He's going for the move. Is Dralex going to defend? He's not. I think he's just letting him go. That's smart. Cheesy train's out.
Yeah, he is.
Jolly, by the way, is 1.6 seconds behind Clone Troop. So
he's found some time on them. It was about 2.6, I believe.
Yeah, he is closing in, slowly but surely, but the McLaren is closing in. He's keeping the gap with Boris. And Leopard, I can't believe I'm saying this about him, but he's losing touch with the guys ahead of him.
Boris is in.
Boris is in. Leopard also in. So both of them have responded to probably seeing Jolly and Clone Troop not pit and now try the undercut. Jolly now brought the gap back down to 1.8. Seems to be spiking a little bit between Clone Troop and himself. And nothing disastrous, nothing like as if it goes down to like half a second then back up to 2 seconds.
Jolly
actually takes the opportunity to come in. So again, another undercut on the race leader because he's now done 11 laps on them. And he's going to really start to feel the effects of them tyres.
Jolly has just exited his pit box. I think the Mercedes are going to get by nice and easy. Where's Dralex? Now Boris. It's going to be close. Boris has just about got past him.
Yeah, indeed. It's up to the line come Clone Troop, and he's in. Race leader is in to the pits. We can see how Verstappen adopts the lead. AWOD Charlie expects to come in behind him as well. Of course, he's kind of in a battle with these guys. Giving him gaps, he might very much be. But let's have a look at Clone Troop. He's into the pits. Jolly, keep me updated on the position between K, Dralex, Boris, please.
I will. I'll let you know. So, Dralex actually made some time to LK. LK's just gone around the final corner along with Dralex and Boris. And now Jolly, followed by Leopard. I think
goes past Dralex. Just about goes past Bollock's They're going to be side by side through turns 1, 2, 3 and 4. It looks to me as if he's going to be down the inside, goes to Ferrari. And can he just about pull off this overcut that he's trying? And I think just about the Canadian will hold him off. And that leaves him prone to Boris now, surely coming towards turn 6. Surely on the inside, Boris will think he's going to have to run. Clone Troop goes defensive immediately. Round the outside goes Boris, the championship leader, trying to go side by side with the Ferrari. And I think just about it will be defense successful from Clone Troop. No, it won't, because down the inside goes Boris at turn 6. And what a move from our Season 5 championship leader. And he hands back what is technically P2 of this Chinese Grand Prix. Brilliant stuff from Boris, but so close for Clone Troop. He's probably going to feel gutted that he's missed out on the opportunity for what could have been a net P1 when pit stops come in later ahead of him.
It was a great move. It was a great move. That's all we've got to say about that. He's got the position, and now he's just got to hunt down the Mercedes of Dralex, in which Clone Trooper could see the opportunity to try and bring about a little bit of a twitch there from the Renault, just on exit, but apart from that, nice and smooth, and he's got a good run on the Mercedes. Mercedes has gone defensive already. Look at the toe he's getting. Is the Renault going to look for a move? He hasn't yet. What about a Ferrari behind? Decided against it. It does look like Dralex. He's scared. He just seems to be making little mistakes, which is allowing the Renault and the Ferrari just to close in on him, and he could end up in P5 at this rate. You can't rule out Jolly and Leopard behind, even though they're about 2 seconds. A little bit of battling
with the Ferrari. You can just see up ahead, Boris, Dralex both sort of go a little bit to the inside, but Kay is starting to lose touch. And surely the Mercedes is going to be playing part of the bus here, because Kay will surely give his best to try and let through Dralex without letting anyone else through, and then just absolutely part the bus on these two and really let the Mercedes unit come together. He's now done 10 laps on them soft. Let's see what he does. Let's go towards his teammate Dralex, down towards turn 1. Will he have a little sniff of the inside, just trying to sort of break late and only have him? No, not quite just yet. And of course, it's only going to cost time for his teammates. So again, you've got to feel that he owes to return the favour, really, Josh, for what happened earlier.
Yeah, you would think so, but whether he's going to do it, maybe you think it's too risky, which, to be honest, I think it is as well. But all it's going to do is just cost time to Dralex, and then he could end up losing a position here. But LK's definitely slowing down this pack. It's helping out Verstappen up ahead. Sort of forgotten about him in a way, just running his own little race.
Yeah, it's massively helping the Dutchman of Verstappen. It's really, really, really benefiting him massively. But one person who it's benefiting towards the back, of course, is Jolly, because that man, we don't really expect him to be there. But meanwhile, look, he's all over the back of Boris. And this has surely got to be a situation for Dralex, because, of course, what's crucial to mention is look at the lap time sheet that we get available to us this year, which is probably one of the best additions Cody have had this year. You get to know how many laps people have been on their mediums. Boris has been on for 5 laps less than Dralex. Clone Troop's been on them for 2 laps. So he's basically a brand spanking new, straight from the factory. But whereas Dralex, they're getting start towards the Part U section, but Boris now trying to go around the outside through the final corner. I think it was ultimately just because he broke later to defend Clone Troop behind him, but actually LK
is in.
So,
but is it too late?
Because
Jolly is 7 tenths behind. Leopard is about 4 tenths behind Jolly. So these guys have caught up to this battle. Look at Clone Troop now. He's going to look on the inside of the Renault. On lap number 16, a bit of wheel bagging there. The Renault's not going to give it up. He needs this, and he's managed to hold on just about. But this allowed Jolly to close up even more. Dralex is probably loving this. Managed to stretch his lead out just a little bit. Clone Troop on the inside now. Bagging wheels. Who's going to come out on top? Is it going to be Ferrari, or is it going to be the Renault? Or is it going to be a bit of deja vu? Is the Renault going to do exactly the same as last time? Yes, he has done. But is the Ferrari going to try and stick it out? Yes, he has. He's managed to do it. That's an incredible bit of defending, or a bit of move. It depends how you want to look at it. But keep an eye on the McLaren of Jolly now, just sitting behind the Renault, and then LCR Leopard as well, a bit wide from Jolly in the McLaren. It's all heating up.
It most certainly is. And on lap number 16 to 28, we've got from second down to 6th, all within a second of one another, and it's going to be an absolute DRS and slipstream fest as they now come up towards the hairpin. Clone Troop, though, has now lost, because of the battle that he's had, nearly a second on Dralex, which is not going to help him at all. Of course, he's got he's got so much fresher tyres to use compared, but at the same time, it's only going to lose him time. But yes, still Verstappen in. Meanwhile, Jolly and Leopard went side by side. I don't quite know if Leopard.
I think Jolly let him through.
Maybe
Jolly had a little bit of a weave there to say, maybe go for it, go and attack them. Maybe he's realised that Leopard's quicker, he can go ahead battle, which can mean Jolly can sort of pick up the scraps, you could say. But look at Clone Trooper here. Look at the speed he's carrying.
That's incredible. Round the outside he goes, and now breaking as late as he dares. Draylet's going to do his best to try and defend on the inside line, but just leaves enough room for him. And down the inside now goes Clone Troop, and he has the race lead on the freshest set of mediums available to every single man on this track. So he's doing beautifully at this moment in time to lead the Chinese Grand Prix, but Draylex surely going to want to get that straight back, maybe try lunging towards turn 1 if he doesn't defend it. Clone Troop has not defended it, but he's not been able to go for the move. Meanwhile, in the background as well, Leopard and Boris side by side. The two champion leaders again go side by side, but this time it's for P3, so it actually seems like a relevant position to them. But Boris has just about managed to do it and has back, I believe, P3, and yes he does, but Leopard going to take no time. Back down the inside through turn 6 he goes, side by side, and Leopard breaks as late as he does and squeezes him out and sends Boris absolutely to Narnia. And that means now Leopard has P3, Boris down to P4, and this ultimately is helping Draylex and Clone Troop make this into a 1v1 fight. Yeah, 6.3 the gap to him behind Jolly, and actually it might be able to come down even more because Jolly is in the DRS and the slipstream of Boris down towards turn 1. Turn at 14, and down inside he goes, and BORRISLETTERBOX, I think just about he might have the move. There's a binner in the barrel, I feel like saying about Jolly, but down the inside goes Jolly, and I think maybe, just maybe, he might have the move, but Boris will do his best. Damn, oh, there's contact, and Jolly is half spun. There was slight contact, and because of the speeds that the cars were travelling, there was only one way that was going to end, and it ended in a spin, and it's Jolly who loses that fight. And really, that's not gone well for him. It's Theo Verstappen then sits the fast lap behind him. But any chance of you seeing what's happened away while Charlie?
No, I'm not too sure. I believe it was around turn 13. So the swooping right-hander, I think he spun there. I'm not 100% certain, but I believe it was around there, or on the straight, like very similar to what Smithson managed to do. Anything can happen. We saw the spin from Jolly, and Verstappen now pretty much right behind him, very wide from Verstappen.
Oh, Leopard goes the inside. Leopard goes the inside at turn number 13. He absolutely caught up like a rugged rat, but down the inside goes the German. And I think maybe, yes he does, he has the move done and now has P2 and is 2.6 seconds behind our race leader. Can he close up, or will Draylex be able to come straight back at him? I think he might, Josh, because, well, he's got the DRS again down towards turn 1, but there was a car in the background. Verstappen's in.
He is. Interesting call from the Sauber man.
He's out.
He's retired.
Retired? What? What on earth have I just seen?
Not too sure.
I hate to sound like Soccer Saturday, but I don't know, Jeff.
Yeah, that's yeah.
What?
Yeah, I'm really. Yeah,
we're speechless here on the stream, but nevertheless, the race does continue. That's not going to stop for anything. And Draylex continues to lose contact with the back of Leopard. Now, Josh, just give us a quick update. Any news on penalties between these leaders? Oh,
yes,
Draylex gone deep.
I know Jolly. I've just saw that as well. That was close. That could have been an absolute disaster.
Oh my goodness me. He's picked up 3-6 time winner as well. Oh dear. Oh dearie me. And just a weave in frustration for the Canadian. Only just basically throwing in the towel for himself. And oh my god. Well, update us before like someone rams in the back.
Before something happens. So obviously, as we just saw, Draylex has picked himself up a time penalty. Jolly has one as well. Apart from that, in terms of the leaders, Boris is on 2 warnings. Leopard on... Oh, Leopard's got 3 warnings, apparently. Clone Trooper is as clean as he possibly can be.
Yeah, now, one thing I would quickly like to mention, well, of course, we do have a sort of brief second. I'll say a brief second, we sort of do. Kelsey, Jani and Kenny 25... 18 and 17 laps on their set of mediums respectively, but meanwhile Boris now on the outside bar of Draylex out of absolutely nowhere. He's now gone round the outside the long way round the hairpin. There's a bit of contact between the two as Draylex tried to squeeze him out, but round the outside goes Boris, and he has P3 just like that. Draylex is struggling on their medium 15 laps in. I can only imagine what like Jani, who's done 18 laps on his feeling like. He must have felt like he's driving on an ice rink.
Yeah, and there's still quite a little bit of the race to go. So, does he decide to pit, or does he just stick it out?
This DRS, I believe, might be now picked up by the both of them. I'm not quite sure, but 3 tenths is the gap. Surely, okay, I think that'll move down towards the hairpin to gain P6. Liam immediately goes to the inside to try and break the slipstream. Now comes back towards the outside, and Cade just following him in that little pocket of air that he gets in order to get a bit more straight line speed. Now let's drag it down towards the hairpin. He comes round the outside, goes okay, and the Frenchman has broken far too late. But he's probably back in 10.66.
He's done a Draylex.
He has. Let us know your driver of the day, of course, in the chat. So, Josh's vote, VSR Clone Troop, myself, I voted for Jolly. What about you guys? Give us your thoughts. Who was ultimately your driver of the day today, and who really has stood out for you as an extra special performer of part 2 of 16 of LCR? And again, LK broke late.
Almost went into the back of Liam there. It just feels like there's going to be a crash.
What is up with the Mercedes and late braking down towards the hairpin? Meanwhile, a scrap line as well between Brad and Visualize. America against Belgium, not really often talked about a battle, but side by side they go down towards the hairpin, and I think maybe, yes he does, Visualize has the move done for now, but watch Brad maybe try and get back to him. Nope, not going to be quite on. Any news, Josh?
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on Jolly. About a second behind Draylex, so it grab DRS soon if he can just get a little bit more time. Apart from that, I'm just keeping an eye on LK, making sure he doesn't run into the back of Liam again. Or, you know, it's a close call, but they're really the only 2 potential battles which could happen, as LK again has just created an even bigger line than last time, but Jolly is within DRS range now, so potentially a last couple of laps move or for P4 for the McLaren.
It could be a chance maybe to just sort of really put a fight. I mean, I believe both of them have a 3-second time period anyway, so this is actually generally a scrap for position. So now it just all comes down to who's got it most. And Jolly's done 6 laps less on his medium compound tyres. He put on the same lap, actually 1 lap after, that our race through the Clone Troop did, who looks to be set to call himself round 2 victor. But meanwhile, about to go, surely not, side by side towards turn 3 this is. No, not quite. As towards the DRS zone they come, and I just about think maybe Jolly's going to try and sort of hold back here, get a move done there, and you know, that'll only just set him up for P4. With 3 laps to go, just about to start 2 of this Chinese Grand Prix in LCR. And Josh, I think Jolly's going to go on the inside here. Andre, that's down towards the hairpin they come, and just see him in the distance there, but now they come up towards the panning shot, and yes, look at that, before even the DRS zone, Jolly has the move, it's down the inside, easy.
Nice and easy.
I don't think Dreadx actually wanted to really fight that too much, but someone who's going to want to fight it too much is Kingley and 25 and LK in the background as well, towards the hairpin again, not being mirrored, just moving the around the outside. K goes, he gets his braking zone right, around the outside he goes, bit of wheel banging between the two, and Liam defends again.
But overall, it does look like LK is going to get the position. Oh, nearly a bit of contact again.
Very nearly led in tears for LK as he tries to close up. He's about to start the final lap of this Chinese Grand Prix here in LCR. We've got just over 1 lap to go, and Clone Troop looks set to claim this victory again as Leopard tried his best to close up. And meanwhile, a man who is closing up is LK on the back of Liam again towards the hairpin. They go round the outside. He goes, breaks as late as he dares. King Liam comes backwards one, absolutely cuts him off, and ultimately means that again the Mercedes is behind him. But VSR Clone Troop is now about to claim 25 points, his first 25 points of the season, and only 2 races in his LCR history. VSR Clone Troop is the winner in China with the fastest lap of the race as well. Incredible for him. And LCR Leopard makes it 2 from 2 for second places. BORRISLETTERBOX still will continue to lead the championship thanks to P3. It's 40 points for him. LK meanwhile side by side with Kingley 25 on the final lap for P6. His Draylex comes in P5. It's still not going to matter because Kingley 25 has a 3-second time penalty. Around the final corner they come, and it will be Kingley 25 in 6th. But in actual fact, he's going to come home in 7th because LK takes P6. And well, Boris still leads the championship, Josh, but Leopard is right behind him now. Only 4 points separate our 2 championship leaders.
Yeah, it is close, definitely. And All it shows is that it's going to be a good season. I think that's the best way to describe it.
As here is your final race screen for you. So here's the final results. BSR Clone Troop wins the Chinese Grand Prix, closely followed by LCR Leopard. Boris P4 for Jolly. Remarkable day for the McLaren. He brings home 12 points. Dralex in the end coming home in P5 with LK P6, so 5 and 6. Exactly where they qualified in Bahrain, by the way, for the two Mercedes. Kinnan 25 P7, Visualise in P8, then P9. LCR Hayden rounds out the points in P10, so still a double points finish for the two Force Indies as well, of course, for the two McLarens of Visualise and Jolly. Kelsey Jenny, the only guy to finish outside the points and actually finish the Grand Prix. Early leavings of the session for Finish Legend and on Death Row. DNFs for TR Verstappen, AWR Charlie, Choosing Train, and the reserve of VSR Smithson. But that will conclude LCR Round 2. That's it, we've done it. We're now officially getting towards the midway stage, and BORRISLETTERBOX still is the championship. But will he lead after the streets of Baku takes its victim? Thank you guys very much for watching. Per usual, see you the same time next week for round 3, and goodbye.